What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. All right, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Damian Talks Education. It is finally Friday. Yes, you guys. Let's give ourselves a hands clap. We have made it, you guys. We have made it through another week. Give yourself a hand clap. Give yourself a hands clap. So I am so very happy on today, you guys, as you could tell, because I'm back again in my lovely old background here. And today, you guys, today is the final episode of Damian Talks Education of season 3. This is not the very, very last episode. I will let you guys know when I will end this show right here, but it won't be anytime soon, you guys. So I am celebrating, you guys, the very last episode, because it is another celebratory day for me, because it is the 50th episode of Damian Talks Education. Can't you believe it? Can't you believe it? I can't believe it. I have done 50 episodes so far of my show right here, Damian Talks Education, which I'm so very proud of the many topics and, the amazing guests that have brought onto my show, to share their passion for education, as with me. And I'm so glad that I have, all of you guys along this journey with me, my DTE fam. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, because you guys truly tune in every week to hear what this 20-year-old has to say about education. What is he thinking his own mind? What is his concerns? What does he wants to change, this and that? And I just really appreciate all of you guys. Seriously, I really do. I'm not going to get emotional in this episode because no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to show you guys. There probably will, let me just say this. Well, I don't know. Well, I do not like, to, show, all of my feelings out to anyone, especially because that's why you guys, you haven't been seeing me, get, emotional. Well, I do get emotional, but you guys, if I could speak on today, you guys don't see me, shed some tears, this and that. I haven't done it on this show right here. I haven't did it on Future Educators Talk. I haven't did it on my other shows, that I have. Because that's just me. But I'm not going to promise this. You may, guys, probably, it just depends, on a type of topic that really is very, deep to me. That's very important to me. And you guys may see me, get all teary up and, see some tears. So I'm going to just let you guys know that in advance. Now, it's okay. Now, some people say this, that, Black men, they shouldn't cry, they shouldn't, because that's no. Let me tell you guys out right now, for all the Black boys that are watching my show, okay? It is okay for you guys to show your feelings, to show your emotions. It is okay, because that is part of being a human. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. Show your expression, because that, to me, that makes me, and with a lot of Black men out there, it make us feel, even to me, more stronger and more brave, because we're embracing everything. We're not shying away from it. We're not keeping it from ourselves. So I applaud all of you guys to do that. Do that. Don't be afraid of what other people think. Please do not be afraid. All right, so let's kick it off, you guys. Let's get started, shall we? So on today's episode, you guys, I am going to be sharing with you guys my top 7 episodes throughout this entire show of Damian Talks Education. There has been 3 seasons, and I'm going to be sharing some of my 7 top episodes. Now, originally, I was going to do 15, but then I, struck it down to do 10. But now I just decided to do, my top 7, because, yeah, I just wanted to do it for, this episode right here, which is fine. Probably like later on, I will probably do, like my top, because like, once I have, did so many seasons and episodes of this, there will probably be more of my top episodes, and they're probably going to be, the exact same as the ones I'm going to share today. They're probably not later on into the near future. But that's what I'm going to be doing today, you guys. And also I'm going to be showing you guys, those clips of what are my favorite episodes are, and why, I chose, why are they my favorite episodes. So I'm going to be showing that. I'm going, going down the list from my top 7 to my very number 1. And I'm looking at my list right now to what are my top 7s, and I'm so proud of what I have put for number 1, because I literally cannot believe I actually did it on this show right here. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but you guys will see when I share my top 1. I can't, because I really, and I was in this, I was, well, not, well, I was in the living room recording at that time, but I was in a different direction in this living room. I wasn't right here. I was like over here in this, back over here in this direction over here. I'm pointing at. So, and I can't believe I actually did that. I really cannot. I was like shocked while I was recording that, and then when I watched back, I was like, "Whoa, Damian." Okay, but okay, let's get started. You probably okay. Let me get started here, you guys, because I'm all rambling. So my very top 7 episodes, number 7 of my top episodes of Damian Talks Education, is back in season 1. We're going back in time, you guys, back in season 1. That was 2 seasons ago. And this was the very last episode of season 1. And you guys, I have my phone here, because, I have to see, I had to search through these, guys, to see like which seasons they were in, because I can't remember, because I didn't write them down. But anyways, this was the very last episode of season 1. And I believe this was part, at first, this was part of my YouTube show that I used to do. This was like way back then, before I started this podcast right here. And I did this episode right here of my YouTube show. And then I wanted to, bring it back, into my show. And I just, I had to do some tweaks in there, because it wasn't the exact same name and, this and that of, the stuff I said in that episode. But it was that time of where, and this was released back in October 2020. And it evolves around, Black history, and why, and I shared this. I did another episode of this off of Future Educators Talk, which was in season 3. I can't remember the episode of season 3, but I will have it, to where you guys can search for it as well. But this was where I mainly talk about why are Black students, why are they not learning their history in schools? And I share my thoughts and my experience of why they are not and why they should be, because there are so many reasons why they should be. And it should not only be, and I'll talk about this in this episode, it should not be during the month of February. And then you go after February is gone, you just talk about whatever. You don't even touch base on Black history no more. Which to me, that doesn't make no sense to me at all. You only touch part on it once a month, a year, and that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So here's what I say here. Black history is American history. Please remember that. And it should be taught throughout the entire year across the curriculum, not confined to a single month every year, like I just got through saying. Teaching Black history all year long means teaching our Black students to be game changers. And we want that for our students. We want that for our students. And I put hashtag Black history is important, hashtag teach our Black students. So that right there, yes, like I said, we want them to be game changers. So you guys check out this clip of me, expressing my thoughts of why our Black students, they should be taught about, they should learn and taught into their schools about Black history. So take a look at this. This is number 7.
Why are our Black students not learning their history in school? Just why? And I just don't get it at all. I really don't understand why so many of our Black students today in schools, they're just not learning their history in schools, period. Now, I'm not just talking about just during the month of February, which is Black History Month. I'm talking about year round, including the February, the Black History Month. I'm including that. I'm including all year round, you guys, all year round. They should be learning their history in schools because it is important to learn about their ancestors and about us, about our information. That's what I feel. I truly feel that. I will tell you guys this, that when I was in school, back in middle and high school, I was so starved, STARVED, I was so starved to death about not learning the information about who I really am. Now, let me just say this. I know you can get to learn this at home. Let your parents do this. But for me, during that particular time in middle school and in high school, I was just so starved for information about who I really am. Where did I come from? Why are we so important? Black people. Why are we so important in society? And I know that you could do this, learn about who you really are. There's lots of ways you could do this, online with Ancestry, 23 and May. There's lots of resources. But I just want, in school, to learn, who I really am. I just wanted that.
All right, you guys, you just check out my top 7 episode, which was back in season 1. Our Black students are not learning their history in school, and you just heard my thoughts and expression on that. So let's move on to my top 6, and this again was back with my YouTube series, which was called I kept changing it every once in a while, but one of them was called Afternoon Talk with Damian Anderson. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. And this was actually my 2nd episode of this here, and I am so glad that I had the pleasure of doing this, because this is where I brought on one of my good friends, and who's the co-founder. He's gonna get mad at me for saying that. Who is the founder and co-host of Future Educators Talk, Mr. Andrew Fred. And I'm so glad that he opened up to me of where he opened up to me of him being in foster care. And that really and this is where, we were starting, to get to know each other, because this was where um I can remember when I had recorded this um back, but this was like, I believe, where we first starting to get, know each other a little more. And I just had the pleasure of having him on to share his experience living in foster care. And I said this here, well, I'm reading the description. My friend is living proof that we are not defined by our yesterdays. Andrew Fred. So in this video, I have a very special guest, my good friend, co-host of our podcast together, Future Educators Talk, Andrew Fred, where we discuss our thoughts on students living in foster care. And plus, he shares his own experience living in foster care when he was younger, you guys. And then I asked, I had a question for all the teachers and non-teachers, which was, what can teachers do to help youth in foster care? And so I am so glad, Andrew. I know that you're watching this because you support my show and I support your show as well. So I just want to, I don't think I ever thank you. Well, I know back then I didn't, but I just want to personally, thank you so much for allowing me that. Thank you for opening up to me about, of you being foster care, because you did not have to share that with me, Andrew. You really did not, but you felt comfortable to do that because you're my friend. You're my best friend. And I'm glad that you shared that with me. You opened up to me about what it was like, your experience, how you are today. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so glad that you allow me to be a part of that experience with you. Because I don't know, like you explained that episode, and of course with me, I can't never, fill in your shoes of how it was like for you back then. But to sum this all up, I just want to thank you, Andrew, truly from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So you guys, let's roll my top 6 episodes of Damian Talks Education. My best friend, Andrew Frey, he opens up about living in foster care. So take a look.
How did you quite feel like discussing that on the podcast?
It wasn't really hard, I would say. Kind of bring back memories from a couple years ago, and so it wasn't really hard. It's just something that needs to be talked about, and also to able to share my story,
Right.
because I don't think many people know that I was in foster care. Just like the very first episode that we did, you didn't know. He was completely shocked. So to be able to share my story, it's perfectly fine. There are probably many students out there that's in the same situation that I was in a couple years ago. So
You mentioned that you was in foster care from 2010 or 9, I believe.
9 or 10.
Okay, till about
9 or 10.
2015. So that was That was a while. That was a
Mhm.
while. So, and then you said that you was with in 2 foster cares, I believe.
Yes, 2 families. One of them was from 2009 or 10 all the way from 2011. And then from 2011 to 2015, I was with another family. So that's a total of, I do believe, if my math is correct, 5 or 4 years, 4 to 5 years. So
I want to ask this: how is it like being in foster care? Did you like being there? If I may ask that, how was it being there? If I may ask.
to be honest with you, I didn't like it. Because you're taking, it's like, I'm gonna put it just like this. It's like you're going on vacation and you left your suitcase at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that.
Right.
Basically everything that you know, everything that you grow up with, especially with your family,
Right.
and being in this system, you're leaving that behind, and now you gotta learn all this new stuff. You gotta figure out your new family. You gotta figure out, if they have and if you have any siblings or not, and actually be able to be part of their lives. So that's why I didn't really like it, because I had to learn pretty much everything from square one.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So that was my top 6 episodes. One of my top 6. One of So you guys should just check out one of my top 6 episodes of Damian Talks Education, which was my best friend Andrew Fred. He opens up about living in foster care. So you guys, let's move on down the list to number 5. What is my number 5 top episode? And actually I did 2 episodes of this here. This was back in season 2. This first one was back in season 1. And then the second one was back in season 2, which was one of them was my premiere episode. But the first one I did ever, which it's titled Damian Hears You, a conversation on being a Black man in America. And this was, around the time, back in 2020, where we first witnessed the killing of George Floyd. And that really, shook all of us up, to start opening up about these difficult and uncomfortable conversations about racism. And I'm glad that I chose, to do this onto my show. And for me, I wanted to learn from other Black men of how, how is they feeling, what needs to change, what it's like for them of being a Black man in America, and so on and so on. Because I want to learn from others. Because generally, you guys, I was like, to be honest, I was like a little afraid to do this here, because when I first made out the post that, I was going to do this, and right after I was like, oh crap, Damien, what did you do? Because with me, some of you guys can tell, and then probably also with Andrew, my co-host, off of Future Educators Talking, and some of my, old classmates, y'all probably see me as not talking about, these certain types of conversations. If you know me, if that call like makes sense, because then I wasn't like talking about anything like this and onto a show like this to where all of you guys hear. I wasn't doing these types of things like this, But after I had posted, I was like, I was going to delete it and just forget about it. But I was like, no, Damien, no, you want to have these talk. You want to have a conversation. So stick with it, because I wanted to, like I said earlier, I wanted to learn from other Black men, and I really did. And I did 2 parts of this. This was like my first part, which was in season 1. And then my second part was back in season 2, which was the premiere episode. And here's what I wrote here. And I had on some amazing guests, Black men, to join me for this conversation on both of these parts here. And I said this in response to several high profile deaths of African Americans in recent months. This was back at the end of 2020. Many Black people are saying that enough is enough, and there needs to be change happening right now. Our pain, our fear, our anger, and frustration is all too much on us. Our voice needs to be heard. So join me as I have a conversation on what it means to be a Black man in America with these amazing Black men. And I'm gonna do the first part, then I'm gonna go to the second part. Andrew Fred, he joined me, Mr. Brandon Morrison, Dr. DeMarcus McEwen, Darnell Jerome, KJ Johnson II, Christian S.L. Paget, George Harris, and Andrew St. George. So I had the very privilege, you guys, of having these amazing Black men to come, have this conversation with me, because I wanted to learn more from them, and as well as they wanted, with me, of how I was feeling. So you guys, check out, this is the first part of season 2, you guys. Of season 1, excuse me. This is part 1. Let me just say that this is part 1. So check out my top 5 episode of Damian Talks Education, which is Damian Talks, which is Damian Hears You, a conversation on being a Black man in America. So take a look. What was your first reaction when you saw the video of the white cop kneeling on George Floyd's neck while he was saying, "I can't breathe"? I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Morrison. What was your first reaction when you first saw it?
I will say it took me probably a couple days to watch the video. I read an article, I saw a lot of posting, but I think George Floyd was one of a few that have happened in the past 8 weeks. And so to deal with so many of them popping up in an 8-week period, it was just not only further traumatizing, but more exhausting. Just to have to put yourself through this again, because you know that there's another man who has lost his life, another Black man, someone who looks like you that has lost his life, and the one initial thought that pops in your head is that could have been me. Mm-hmm. And then the next initial thought may be, well, what's the situation? And you want to get all of these details, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that can justify it. It's just you start going into all of these different modes. And so it's been an emotional struggle for the past few weeks that started with, reading the article, seeing the video, and things of that sort, and kind of connecting it to saying, oh, there's another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What did you think of this when you first saw this happening?
I didn't see the video until a couple of days later. It was actually trending on Twitter when I first heard the story, and I'm just basically shaking my head at this point, because really another one, just comes after Breonna Taylor. I'm just like, are you serious? What needs to be done in order to stop this? What needs to be done? So, and now I'm scared, because like Mr. Morrison said, it could happen to anyone.
Absolutely.
So I'm honestly scared every time I go to work every morning, you know, because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What was your first reaction when you saw the video of the white cop kneeling on George Floyd's neck? What was your first reaction when you saw it?
I had so many actual first thoughts, but initially, I think the George Floyd video was the first video that we have from beginning to end, right? So we have, you know, video of Mike Brown and things like that, and oftentimes we know that people who just don't believe that there is institutional or systemic racism, they try to always say, you know, well, what happened before the police did that? What happened after? See, there's no question in this particular situation, because we actually have not only one or two videos, 3 videos from beginning to end. We have a black man who has his hands already in cuffs, so he wasn't necessarily resisting. So there's no question in my mind that this was an execution. For 8 minutes or 46 seconds, this man, Chauvin, the police officer, has his knee on this black man's neck. That's a problem. So it just brought back so many memories of how these things happen from beginning to end. And I think with George Floyd, for many of us, and the reason why it received so much attention and the reason why it received so much public outcry is because there is no question of what happened in this video at all. So those are my initial thoughts.
All right, you guys. So you just check out my top 5 episode of Damian Talks Education, which was Damian Hears You, a conversation on being a black man in America. So I hope you enjoyed that clip there. So moving on down to my top 4 episodes of Damian Talks Education, which was, and I first discussed this on to, I think, no, wait. First, we did it on Future Educators Talk, which was, or no, I probably did this first. I can't remember, but I did it onto my show, which was my YouTube series. And then I did it again onto Future Educators Talk with me and Andrew, and this was our season 3 premiere. And this was back on my show too, which was called Conversation Talk with Damian Anderson. This was episode number 5, which was a black teen. He was told to cut his dreadlocks. And this was my honest opinion onto my show here, this my old YouTube series. And if you guys, this was like at the beginning of 2020. And I still cannot believe it until this day here. I really can't. And I need to like follow up onto that story to see, did he actually graduated or not? Did he had to, I don't know. I got to find a follow up of that. But if you guys, you know, if you have found a follow up of that, please send it over to me so I can, you know, express my thoughts onto that. And then also with my co-host off of Future Educators Talk, and we could do that for you guys. But this was back in January 2020, you guys. DeAndre Arnold, who was a Texas high school senior, he made national news after he was told by his school officials that he had to cut off his dreadlocks in order to return to classes and walk at graduation. So in this video, I explain my thoughts on what I think about this issue, which I thought it was totally full of baloney crap. Seriously, that makes no. And then he was, you know, on the Ellen DeGeneres show back, you know, when this was all happening. And I watched that clip of where, you know, Ellen, you know, talks with him, Mr. Arnold, and I still cannot believe it to this day. And I explained this in this video, this clip I'm about to show you guys. But I'm going to repeat it, and then you will hear me saying that clip. I do not understand. Like with me, I don't have dreadlocks, so I don't have to, you know, worry about it. But still, if I did, or if I had, you know, a different types of hairstyle, you do not have the right. You do not have the right. And listen to me. I don't care if you guys get pissed off at me for this or not, or school counselors, administrators, whoever watch my show. I don't care. I'm going to, because this is my show, my opinion. You do not have, school officials do not have the right to tell a student to cut off their hair for them to walk a graduation. You don't own them. You are not their family. You are not their parents. You don't get to say of, oh, you should do this for you to walk this at graduation or do an activity or whatever. You don't have the right to do that. I'm sorry, you do not. That makes total, and I explained with this with Andrew, like, who does this? Who freaking does this? And I'm getting all heated up, which is fine. I'm gonna calm down in a few minutes, but I'm just expressing out my feelings, okay? I do not understand. You do not have the right to tell. And that story I was, explaining, that hair, that was a part of his culture, because his dad was, I'm probably going to say this incorrectly, was from Trinidad. And then that's how, they work with their culture. So you don't got, you didn't know that. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. So why in the world? And they told him that in order for you to graduate, you must cut off your head, your hair, your dreadlocks. If not, you'll not be able to walk at graduation. If I was him, and I bet he probably did not did that. I can tell you that right now. I bet he did not did that. If I was him, if I was in that shoe, if I was in his situation, I would have did nothing, because I was going to make sure that I was going to walk at graduation with my hair, how I want it or not. I was going to walk at graduation, and no one is not going to stop me from doing that, because I earned that for the last 12 years that I have been in school. I deserve to walk at graduation with my classmates, my fellow classmates. I deserve it. That's okay. So let me show you guys this clip, and I'm gonna calm down while you guys are watching this. So let's roll my top 5 episode of Damian Talks Education, which is a black Texas teen was told. See, so you guys, I can't even speak because I'm all heated up. So check out this clip. A black Texas teen was told to cut off his dreadlocks to walk at graduation. Roll it, just roll it.
DeAndre Arnold, he is a young black male. He was suspended from his school, from his high school, because he is currently a senior. He was suspended from his school by his hair, his dreadlocks. He has dreadlocks. He was suspended for that. And I'm just like, what? What is wrong with his hair? Nothing is wrong with his hair. Plus, here's this. They are not going to allow him to walk at graduation. They're not going to let him walk at graduation until he cut off his hair. What? What kind of BS is that right there? You can't tell no one that a student or whatever, they cannot walk at graduation for you wanting them to cut their own hair? What kind of mess is that right there? That is just ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous right there. What do y'all have against his hair? There's nothing wrong with his hair. Y'all want him to meet what is y'all dress code policy? Y'all don't like dreadlocks? Is that what it is? Because this is not making sense. It's his hair means something to him. This means something very important to him. Now, y'all want him to cut off his hair because first of all, y'all don't know his background, his culture, because his hair means something. like I said, like this article says, his father had been through his family for years and years. This is part of their culture. The hair, the tying it up, all of that. And you can just tell someone to cut off their hair to meet your dress code policy. What kind of mess is that? Do you have a problem with other students' hair? I don't think so. It's just him. It's just him because he's black. He's a black male, and y'all just trying to give it at him. Just destroy him down, which is not right. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's just, I'm still quite fed up with this. Y'all suspending him because of his hair. There's nothing wrong with his hair, this young man's hair. Nothing wrong. What do y'all have against dreadlocks? What is the problem? This school, it needs to be investigated, seriously. They need to look into their dress code policy and get to the bottom of this. He needs to go back to school. Go back to his classes. And he needs to walk at graduation because he deserves it. All this 4 years, he has been working his butt off. And now, it had come to this. Wanting him to cut off his hair to meet your dress code policy. This is some BS here. It absolutely is. Very ridiculous.
All right, you guys. So I have cooled down now. And I made a mistake. I said top 5. That was actually my top 4. You guys know, and I had it down here. That was my top 4 episode. So yeah, because I was all heat up, you guys, and I'll just, so I hope you enjoyed that lovely clip right there of a black Texas teen. He was told to cut off his dreadlocks in order for him to walk at graduation. So let's move on, you guys, to my top 3. We are going down the list very quickly, you guys. So let's move on to one of my top 3 episodes of this show right here, which was actually this season 3, you guys. And I was in this lovely, space right here, but with a different jacket on, of course. And, a different time, when I was corn dads, which was a math teacher who brings his students together through yoga. Yes. And that was back, you guys, in May of this year of when I did this episode here. And if you guys missed it, you could check it out. It's available everywhere you listen to podcasts and also available onto my YouTube. So, Mr. I'm probably going to say his name incorrectly. I apologize. I'm going to just say Mr. Well, I'm going to go for it. No, I'm going to just say Mr. Nelson. He knows what I'm talking about. Who's a math teacher. He says, I openly talk to my students about using breathing and meditations to help with things like anxiety. So in this episode, learn more about how he uses yoga inside his classroom, as well as his fantastic past, present, and future. And I just love this Black educator right here. I just applaud him. I applaud him for what he did during the pandemic of bringing his students together, you guys, through, yoga, which is, very unusual, but he see, you guys, that's what I'm talking about there. And I keep saying this a lot off of Future Educators Talk about building. See, he has that bond. He has that connection with his students because he found something that they all enjoy. Well, now, probably then, I don't know if, when he first probably introduced it to them, they was probably maybe hesitant. I was like, yoga. We're team. Yeah, so I can see that now. But see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Having a relationship with, find something that interests you, and then also with the students as well. At first, they probably be hesitant, like I said, but once you build that bond and you have that connection with your students, they will get you and you will get them. So let's roll, you guys. my top 3 episode of Damian Talks Education, which is a math teacher, Mr. Nelson, who brings his students together through yoga. So check it out. How did you get into yoga then? Well, he said that his mom introduced him to yoga and he just took it from there and there. And around this time, he started taking track more seriously, and he thought that yoga was a lot like stretching, only better. So he started doing it regularly back when he was in high school and in college, and still to this day, he still does it because, so yeah. And as an athlete, he never had a serious injury, and he really attribute to that yoga practice. How did yoga make it into your school? Well, he got his yoga certification in 2017 and then ended up opening, his own yoga studio with other educators. That's great. Collaborate with other educators, which is fabulous. But even before that, he would do yoga with his students, and he often helped coach the track athletes. And he would do yoga with them. And even the football coach at the high school has brought him into doing yoga before football games. And he has also taught classes at school, which have been open to both teachers and, of course, with students. So how do you use yoga with your students? Well, it makes it in his classroom in many ways. For instance, he openly talks to his students about using breathing. Just breathe in, you guys. Breathe out. Okay. And meditation to help with things like anxiety. And before, they even take a test, he often have his students take a minute so they could, do some breathing together. I love that. And it works really well. Works really well. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, you guys. So you just check out one of my top 3 episodes of Damian Talks Education, which was a math teacher brings his students together through yoga. So let's move on, you guys. I got 2 more to go. Well, when I say this, I have 1 more to go. So one of my top 2 episodes of Damian Talks Education is actually this season, you guys, season 3. And of course, this had to be into my top episode because I still can't believe it, you guys, which is I celebrated my 1-year anniversary of starting this lovely old show right here, Damian Talks Education, which at first it was a different name. It wasn't Damian Talks Education, but still, it still has, the same concept, but, I changed up the name. And I'm so glad, I'm so honored that I could, celebrate with all of you guys because I celebrate this live with all of you guys with my Instagram followers who follow me. You remember this day. I celebrated all live with you guys. And I couldn't wait to share this with all of you guys because during that day, I was like so excited. I was like happy. I was, you guys. I was so happy. And you could tell in that live right there. And so I celebrated my podcast success and what I look forward to the future. I explained that in that live. And also, you guys, I brought on an educator, a basketball coach, a podcast host of Future Educators Talk, and with my good friends, Coach Darnell Jerome. He joins the celebration with me, and he was so happy for it. He still is happy for me right now. I don't know if he's, he watches my shows or not, or if he's watching this perhaps right now. But if you are Coach Darnell, I explained this to you in that live. I want to thank you so much for, joining me for that celebratory, event of my life right there. And then, of course, you guys, I wanted Andrew. Well, Andrew Freds, he was actually on. He was watching along with me, but unfortunately he couldn't join me. But I know that he support. Like I said earlier, he supports me of whatever I do because I always bring him on. As you guys can tell, if you've been noticing in every season, you guys so far, season 1 all the way to 3 right now. He has been my first guest in every season because he supports me, you guys. He supports me of what I am doing. And I support him as well with his show and his, whatever's going on in his life. We support each other. So I always, every time he comes on, I always say, Andrew, you're always my first guest in every season that I will continue on doing this show right here. And so thank you guys. Thank you. And also with KJ, I can't leave him out. I don't feel like, with me, I'm just going to speak on my behalf. I can't speak on Andrew and Coach Darnell because this is not Future Educators Talk. But still, I don't feel like that I acknowledge him, very often. Because it just be just three of us, because he is a teacher, he is an educator, which I'm so very proud of him. KJ, he graduated from Lamar University. So I just want KJ, if you are watching this right now or whatever you are, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I really do, and I appreciate you for supporting us as well. With all the things that we're doing, and that you are always a part of our family, even though you have your own things going on with you. We love every time that you come on to Future Educators Talk, to either share with us what's going on in your life, or you want to actually talk a topic with us that's really deep in to your heart. So on how do you say this, on behalf of me, or however the saying goes, I appreciate you, KJ. I really do, and I hope you are doing well, and I cannot wait to connect with you very soon. So, because we haven't been in contact with each other since the last time we was in contact with each other was back on Future Educators Talk in season 5. And that was where all four of us was back on together, but we had on another guest to join us. But he will be back. I keep saying and that's what I need to fix. Okay, let me finish the saying, then I'm going to come back to that part. See, there it goes again. KJ, he will be back very soon, you guys, on to Future Educators Talk. Okay, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. All right. So now let me go on before I show you guys this clip here. Let me just go. You guys check out my top 2 episode of Damian Talks Education, which is I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary. So check out now. Over here at Damian Talks Education, I am very excited on today, as you guys can tell, because if you've been following me along this journey, that today, you guys, is my 1-year anniversary of starting this fantastic podcast, Damian Talks Education, and I'm so glad to have you guys along this journey with me. So we're going to get this celebration. We're going to start this part off right, you guys. Just want to touch base on this here, of how this podcast came all about in the first place. So you guys just bear with me here for just a few minutes. So I started this podcast last year around this time, May 2019, and this is where I came up with the idea of, because I have another podcast, an amazing podcast called Future Educators Talk, and that podcast right there, you guys, if you don't know what that is an education podcast with, well, now it's 2 future educators, and then 2 of them, because in total there's 4 co-hosts, 2 of them are educators and 2 are future educators. And this is where every week, you guys, we talk about topics that no educators wants to talk about
or have into their own very classroom. So we try our best, we really do, we try our best to have these types of conversations so you guys can start it off. And then also we try and get middle and high school students interested into the education field, because as you guys may know, that Black men, there is not a lot of us into this field. So we are trying every best every week to get on board with this, of having, encourage our Black boys, our Black men who want to go into this field to go right ahead. It is okay. Do whatever you need to do. So I came up with, let me just sum this up real quick. I came up with this idea that I want to do another show up to that, but put like my spin on it, to where I am the only host of this, and then I can pretty much say, whatever I want to say, because off of that podcast, I can't say, the things that I truly, really do want to say. But on here, I have the amazing platform and opportunity, and this is a safe space to where I am allowing and I have met some incredible, amazing educators that come onto this show who share their passion for education, because this is a safe space to where you guys can share that. And I'm glad to have connect with all of you guys. So that is Damian Talks Education for all of you guys.
All right, you guys, you just checked out one of my top 2 episodes of Damian Talks Education, which was me celebrating my 1-year anniversary, which was this year, you guys. So hope you enjoyed that lovely clip I just showed you guys. And now, you guys, to the grand finale. Drum roll, please. I'm just making whatever kind of noise. I'm just here by myself, you guys, because I do all the, editing of the show here. I don't have anybody helping me out. But anyways, you guys, my top number 1 episode of Damian Talks Education is back in season 1, and I've said this earlier, I cannot believe I actually did this in that episode, which was ways teachers can fight racism and teach tolerance inside their classroom. And this was my very first episode of me talking about racism with all of you guys. And I had like a whole series of this here, because right after the episode, there was another episode after that, where I basically talk about racism with all of you guys. And this right here really shook my mind, and I was at this place right here, but I was in another direction in this room, and I cannot believe of what I'm still shocked at it. I'm still shocked at it, you guys, because this has really shook me to my core. It really has. And people, when y'all first saw this, and also with my classmates, you guys were, oh my gosh, Damian, well, this is a totally different side than we never seen this side of him. I never seen my side as well either, you guys. I was totally shocked. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, so this right here, I have this. Let me read this very quickly, you guys, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. You do not have to be me in order for us to fight alongside each other. And that was from Andre Laura. So what does this message mean to you? I ask you all that. Tune in as I discuss the many ways educators, especially white educators, can fight racism now and teach tolerance in their classroom. And this is right here, you guys. I believe I also share a message from one of my good friends here, and this person knows who I am, and I didn't explain, I didn't mention this person's name back when I did this episode, but I'm going to do it today because I feel honored of what she posted. And I'm trying to see, can I find that post? Yes, right here. And I'm going to read it too. And she supports us. She supports us. And that's why I am so honored to call her my friend. So this person right here is one of my old classmates. I don't know if she watches my show or not, or to anyone. that knows this person right here, reach out to her saying that I mentioned her into my episode right here. And I'm back when I had did this episode right here, my top one. And this person is Michaela Walters. Well, her last name's not Walters anymore. It's something that I cannot pronounce, but I'm always call her Michaela Walters. And she posted this onto her Twitter. And this was back in 2020. She says, as a little girl in elementary school, I thought the worst thing that could happen is my mom telling me I could not go to a friend's house. By middle school, I thought the worst thing that could happen is getting bad grades. By high school, I thought the worst things that could happen is not getting asked to prom, not having friends, not scoring well on my ACT, and failing classes. By my freshman year of college, I thought the worst thing that could happen was not getting in the sorority I wanted, not being able to pay for college, having awful roommates, and failing classes. As I sit here waiting to start my sophomore year of college, this is what has happened. Coronavirus, Black Lives Matter, Donald Trump still the president, women talking about their sexual assaults. This was back, in 2020, you guys, this is not now, and etc. What is said about these things I have listed off is the fact that the Black community is still fighting for their rights. It is so upsetting and absolutely breaks my heart that they are still trying to change something that has been going on for 400 plus years. Colin Kaepernick, took a knee for what he believed in, and he lost his job. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died because of what he believed in. There are people going out every day to protest for what they believe in, and they are getting shot with rubber bullets, tear gas, pepper spray, attack, etc. Why are they still having to fight for this change? Police brutality is at an all-time high, and they are supposed to serve and protect us. Instead, they are attacking, all because of the color of someone's skin. Police brutality has turned to racism, not to mention we stuck with a precedent that the Electoral College voted in, not the people. When in America are we going to be able to have what we want? When in America is the Black community going to be able to get pulled over and not fear for their lives? When in America are people going to stop considering all Hispanics are illegal? When in America are girls going to speak up without being judged? It starts with us. It starts when we prove to the government we are stronger than them. It starts when we all become united despite our race, our religion, who we love, and gender. We are the change. We are the ones who will bring justice back to America. We are the ones who will change the system. For everyone protesting for Black Lives Matter, keep doing it. Do not back down. I stand with you. I kneel with you. I lay with you. Forever and always, I will always support Black Lives Matter because in my heart, they will always matter. Rest in peace to all the men and women who have lost their lives to police brutality. We will get justice for you. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag I stand with you. And as you guys can tell, like my voice, it kind of got to look a little deep, and then I'm quite getting emotional back again of listening back to that and reading it. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of this person right here, Michaela Walters. I'm so proud of the person that she has become. She supports us. Some people, probably some of her, old classmates, whoever, they probably not agree with her on this or not, but I just want you to know, Michaela Walters, if you are watching this or if you watch my shows, I thank you so much for supporting me and watching every week. But I want to let you know this. I support you. I respect of what you said. I really do, because you are standing for us. I'm so proud of you. I really am. I'm really am, Michaela, and I'm so honored to call you my friend. I really am. So thank you, Michaela, for that post right there. And I reposted it back onto my Twitter, and I remember you responding back, and I posted this onto my Instagram account. So I appreciate you, Michaela. I really do. I really appreciate you so much. So thank you. So thank you, guys. So let's roll my #1 top episode of Damian Talks Education, which is ways teachers can fight racism and teach tolerance in their classroom. So let's roll it. I just cannot believe that this is the world that I'm living in. That seriously, like I'm a Black man, and I am literally, you guys, literally, I am a 19-year-old Black man who is scared for his life each and every day, you guys. I am literally scared for my life. Now, some people may know this about me, some of my classmates who are watching this right now, that I am not a outgoing person. I never was. If they, back in school, I never, went out, to, school activities. Well, like to football games, all this, soccer games, all this. I just, participating, in student council, and then I was on a cross country team in CCLA. But other than that, I was not a outgoing person. Like to go out. I just like to stay in. And then some of the people who like really know me, like my cousins and stuff, that they know that I don't like to go out. I like to stay in the house. I mean, this is like my safe place. I never go out because of this. That is why, to some of you guys, that is why I am always, the ones who know me and then my classmates, that's why I am always in my house. I am never outside because I am literally scared for my life each and every day. Like seriously, when I step outside to either, like to go to, walk down to the mailbox or go to my grandmother's house or, to step outside in general or, to just walk around, give me some exercise, I am literally scared every second, every minute that I am outside because something could happen to me. I could be arrested. I could be stalked. Somebody is like stalking me. I could be, shot and dead, be killed by cops that, for no apparent reason. I mean, seriously, it is like really, you guys, really ridiculous of this happening to Black men. It's like, why is this such a target to us? Like, I really don't understand. I really don't understand. We Black men today, we need to be heard. We need to show our emotion. We need to show our fear. We need to show everything that is happening to us because it is a target on us, Black men, with these cops, which I'm so sick and tired. I just don't understand. I'm just sick and tired to all you guys love each other. Like, why is that a hard thing to do? Why can't we love each other? Like, I don't understand. Why can't we love each other, be kind to one another? That's what Ellen DeGeneres says, you guys, in every episode of her talk show. Be kind to one another. That is not a hard thing to do, you guys. Of being kind to one another. I mean, come on now. Why can't we? What is the? I really want to know this, you guys. I really want to know this, you guys. Ever since this has happened with Black men being killed in the last couple of months, and this racism and this, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. This all needs to end. Racism needs to end, and it starts with you guys. It starts with us. It starts with everybody. Okay? So I am just sick of it. It's I'm sick of it. It needs to end. Like, why can't we love each other? Like, seriously, why? Like, what is the issue? Can somebody please tell me? You could like DM me, message me, comment down, in the comments below. Any way that you can reach me, on Instagram at Damian Anderson. But I want to know, and I know the answer to this already, but what is the issue with, with us Black people? What is the issue with us, you guys? Like, what is your problem with our skin complexion? What is wrong with all of this? What is wrong with us, Black people? Like, what is seriously wrong with us that you guys hate us so much? You can't even get along with us. Hear our sides of the story. Like, what is it? What do you have against Black people? Me, Black men. What do you have against us, white people? If I had to say that, what is it do you have against us? Like, you guys, why can't we just love one? Or why is that even hard? Of loving one another, being kind to each other. I just don't get what is so deeply hard about this issue. I mean, this, you guys, is nothing. This is complexion. This is a beauty. This is everything. It's all. I know I'm like rambling right now, but anyways, like, what is it with us Black people that y'all have against us? Like, what is it? Why can't you guys get along with us? What is the issue behind it? What is the story? Why can't you let us open up about our opinions, our emotions to you guys? I'm coming up close to the camera. What is it? Because I'm ready for this, you guys, to end. I know, just turn around. I'm ready for this to end. I really am. I mean, I'm just like, at this point, I'm fed up. I want racism to end. And like I mentioned earlier, it all starts with us, with you guys, with me, with you guys, everyone. We want this to end. I want it to end now. And there's a lot of work that we need to do, that we all have to do to end it. A daycare shaved a biracial child's hair without her parents' permission for reason of cleanliness. Oh my freaking gosh. So you tell me that the child's hair was dirty and you didn't like it, so you cut it off without the parents' permission? What kind of mess? Oh my God, you guys, this, oh my God. What is, if I have to say this, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with people? Come on now. I think that these people should not be in this world to begin with. All this hatred and stuff. I'm sick of it. It needs to end. Racism needs to end now. I'm sick of this. I really am. A daycare shaved a biracial, let me say this again, a daycare shaved a biracial child's hair without her parents' permission and her for reasons of cleanliness. So you're saying the child's hair was filthy and dirty and nasty. So you decided, well, let me get the clippers and stuff, let me cut this off there to make your hair shiny and beautiful. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Without telling the parents' permission? That is some BS right there. Oh, I can't stand people. I can't stand you guys. I can't stand liars. I can't stand, hatred people. I can't stand these kinds of people. And so like you guys as well. I can't stand these kinds of people right here. So no matter the circumstances, you guys, it's never okay to look the other way when we see others being mistreated and or abused. Now, if you sit around not doing nothing, you just watch this happening, you are an awful person. You should not be on this earth, if I have to say it. If you let this happen, let someone be abused and mistreated, and hatred towards other, and you sit around and let this happen, guess what? You are an awful person because you are not doing jack about not speaking up about it. You're just being silent. You sitting around letting this happen. You're just watching it, letting it be and happen. So, guess what? Again, you are an awful person for letting this happen. Continuing on happening. You cannot be silent at this time right now. You cannot, you guys. I'm sorry, you can't. You cannot be silent now with all this happening around the world. With us black men, we are being shot by cops. And black people is impacting us. Racism, you cannot be silent about this. You have to open up. You have to speak up about this. And like I have been doing, some people may be shocked that, wow, Damian, I never knew this from you. You have so much to say. You was always this shy person. You were just always quiet. But now, you guys, I'm opening up because I think it is my time to talk about this. To open up, to talk about what's been on my mind. So that's why I have been signed back in schools, because I was thinking, I had so many things going in my mind of trying to say how I want to open up about this, about my experience, my own experience, and to other of my friends' experience, my other family experience. So I could talk about it with you guys. In a professional way that I can. You have to speak up. If you see something, if you see one of us, a cop, is killing us for no apparent reason, and you just sit around not doing nothing about it, you're not recording the action, you're not recording all of it, and you just sit around and do absolutely nothing, and like, that doesn't matter to me, then you are an awful person. You are a miserable, horrible person on this planet for letting this continuing on, because it's never going to stop. It is not going to stop unless we end it ourselves, unless you end it. We all end it. But no, that's never going to happen because it's a continuing thing. It is automatically continuing over and over and over again. And you are the one who are letting it happen, continuing on and on again because of you. And that's the kind of people I don't have time in my circle, and I don't got time for you in my life because you let this continue. That's why I have to say this is my opinion. And if you don't like what I'm saying here, because I'm speaking the honest truth, then you can leave right now and enjoy your rest of your day. Because I'm speaking truth of what's currently happening in the world now. I am sick of this, of racism. Do you hear me? I am sick of it. It needs to end. It needs to end with you first. I just don't understand, like, why all of us Americans, why we cannot love each other like God, the Heavenly Father, loves us, and being kind to one another. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. And maybe one of these days I will finally understand. But right now, I don't understand because of people like you who let this continue on over and over. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. All right, you guys. So that is my top one episode of Damian Talk Education. Ways teachers can teach, um, ways teachers can fight racism and teach tolerance in their classroom. And I just share with you guys my top 7 episodes of Damian Talk Education. So I hope you guys, you had the enjoy of what I shared with all of you guys. If I can speak on today, you guys, I also want to know what are some of your favorite episodes of Damian Talks Education. So please let me know, you guys, down in the comment section below. And I would greatly appreciate to see what are some of your guys' favorite episodes. And also, what do you guys want me to talk about onto my show? Because I am open to talk about anything. Anything, you guys. Seriously, I am open to talk about anything. It doesn't have to be, and I believe I explained this probably 2 seasons ago, or probably, I don't know when, but I remember saying this. I do not basically have to always talk about education. I know this is my passion. I love talking about it, but I also, you guys, I'm thinking about shifting gears a little bit of wanting to talk about other things. And I'm giving you guys like a little preview of season 7 of our podcast off of Future Educators Talk, because we're going to continue on to talk about education, but also we're going to be also talk about other things that are happening around the world. And I'm open to do that onto my show as well, you guys. I don't have to always talk about education. I love talk about education, but I kind of want to talk about other things that's happening, around in the world. Like, for example, Wendy Williams. She talks about, juicy, hot topics, and I kind of want to do something like that. And also, with all the talk shows, like you have the talk, the real, with me, I'm not, political. I don't do stuff like that. So you guys don't. I'm just telling you that right now. I won't be doing that. I can't talk about. I do enjoy The View. I really do. I really enjoy The View. But for me, talking about politics, no, that's not me. And I'm gonna just give you guys a sneak peek. Andrew, he'll be doing that when we start season 7 of Future Educators Talk. I won't be doing that. I will be doing the trending topics for you guys. Okay. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on to my 50th episode of Damian Talks Education. Whoa, yay! I'm so very happy, so very happy. So you guys, I'm going to give you guys like a little preview of what you guys can expect next season on Damian Talks Education, which is season 4. I just love that number right there. Well, season 4. I don't know. Season 4 to me is like great. It's great. No, that will not be the last season. I'll let you guys know when will be my last season. I will give you guys a heads up. I will probably let you know probably by the end of season 4 or probably at the start of season 5 to give you guys a heads up of, when you could expect when my show will end. But I'm just going to say this now. When I do end my show, I will bring it back. And I'll explain it too again. I'm going to say it a little bit here, and I will explain it again in my final season. I will bring it back, but it's going to be something totally a little different. It's going to be the same, quite like concept of what I'm doing now. I'm going to be doing this here, talk about education, introducing. It's probably, of course, I'm going to be a little older. It's going to be a different intro, or probably the same. It's going to be a little different. Then the whole concept is going to be a little different. Some things may consider the same, like with me, talk about education, of course. But also, I'm going to be bringing this into my classroom. And I'm going to incorporate my students into my episodes as well. So stay tuned for that. That's when I become a teacher, is when I will bring it back once I do my final season. And once I finish with my final season, then once I become an educator, I will bring it back. So So what you guys can expect next season on Damian Talks Education season 4, well, it's going to be no, I don't want to say huge because it's going to be the same exact number of episodes. I'm going to keep the number of episodes 15 now until I finish. When I do the final season, I'm going to keep the same. So next season is going to consist of 15 episodes. Of course, Andrew Fresh, you guys, he's going to be coming back onto my show, but he will not be on my very first episode, season 4. Instead, he's going to be on for season 2. I meant season 2. He is going to be on the second episode of season 4 because episode 1, I just wanted to be just me, you guys, me introducing, back, welcome to season 4. What you guys, I would do that, the same thing, as I'm doing right now. And I just wanted to be me. Then I also want to catch up with all you guys, give you guys a life update of what's been going on with me, etc., etc. So it's just going to be just me. Sorry, Andrew, you probably wanted to come on to be my first, you are my first guest, but you, instead of episode 1, you will be in episode 2. So I hope that's fine with you. I hope. If not, contact me. We can do something, okay? But yeah. So of course, Andrew Fred is going to be back, and I cannot speak on today. So you guys will expect more of Andrew Fred into next season. He's going to be on in quite several episodes, because if you guys have not checked out the post that I had posted several weeks ago, which was season 4, I'm going to be doing a crossover event with Andrew's show, Let's Fair About Education, where our shows are going to intertwine with each other. I'm going to do it with him onto my show. Then he's going to bring his show to my show, and then I will be taking my show to his show when he does his crossover event. So I will be the first one doing it onto my show, and then I will bring my show to his show when he wants to do his. So that's one thing. Also, you guys, I'm going to be bringing on the co-host of Future Educators Talk, to where I will be catching up with them, you guys, individually. So you guys can expect that. I'm going to be talking with them. Cannot wait for that. And also, I will introduce you guys one of the new co-hosts of Future Educators Talk for season 7. Just one, because we have 2 new co-hosts, you guys, that will be joining us in season 7. And I will just be introducing just one of them, you guys. The other, you have to wait until season 7 to meet. So I'll be doing that. Then also, once I have finished, catching up with them individually, and in every episode that I'll bring them on, Andrew, Coach D, and KJ, they will be taking over my show, you guys, for a day. They are going to take over my show. I'm just going to be sitting back. Well, I'm going to be of course, I'm going to introduce, do this and that, but I'm just going to let them have it. And it's basically going to be whatever that we want to discuss, because it probably won't be education. Well, it probably will, probably here and there, but we're just going to talk, and it's just going to be a conversation, you guys. Basically, it's going to be just a conversation. It's not going to be like, how, it's not going to be, I'm going to, direct them like, okay, let's get started with it. Okay, so Andrew, what are your thoughts? No, it's just going to be a full-on conversation of, us just basically talking, because they will be taking over my show. So I'm so very excited for that, you guys. I'm just going to sit back here. I'm just going to sit back because I need a break, you guys. I need a break. I'm just like, I'm going to let someone else, control my show for a day. So they are the perfect ones. They are the perfect ones. So you guys can expect that and so much more. So that's a little preview right there. So you guys, that is it. That is the end of the season 3 finale of Damian Talks Education. I want to appreciate all you guys for tuning in every week to hear what I have to talk about, you guys. I really Oh, well, I really appreciate all of you guys. So seriously, thank you so much. So you guys, until then, no, let me stop because, well, I can sing you guys, I can, but my mouth is so dry because I've been talking quite like nonstop. So there will be one episode I probably will sing, the start of the intro, how I'll be doing, and then once I end, and how I end the show, I will probably, I don't know. You guys just wait and see, okay? But until then, you guys, I want you all to take care of yourself during this pandemic. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys next time on Damian Talks Education. So, peace out, you guys. And happy Friday, you guys, and enjoy your weekend. Friday, happy Friday. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. And I just want to thank